and welcome to the NewsX Sunday Guardian Roundtable. But today we're taking a look at the election results. We have, of course, the BJP sweeping Gujarat. I mean, there were those who predicted the win, but such a sweep on such a scale, that too after 27 years of anti-incumbency, is unprecedented. They've broken records of sorts, of all sorts. They've be as long in government as the left government in West Bengal. They've also been the largest number of mandates in Gujarat that any party has ever achieved, breaking Madhav Singh Solanki's record. So kudos to Prime Minister Modi, because this credit really does go to him in this case. Himachal Pradesh, the Congress has managed a win, and Priyanka Gandhi has been campaigning. What does this mean in terms of the Rahul versus Priyanka, arithmetic, chemistry within the Congress is something we're going to be discussing. And of course, for Kharge, it is a win. A win is a win at the end of the day, though we can argue about the scale of the win, but in terms of arithmetics, they get one. Aam Aadmi Party too has done a tremendous job in the sense of the MCD elections, and also in Gujarat they made an entry. They've notched up a 13% vote, most of which has been come from the Congress vote bank. What will this mean for 2024? Taking a look ahead, keeping in mind the fate of 3-4 personalities: Rahul Gandhi, Narendra Modi, Arvind Kejriwal, and also Priyanka Gandhi and Kharge. Joining me on the discussion today is Sandeep Ghosh. He's a political analyst, commentator, columnist. Here, Amitabh Tiwari. He's a political analyst and a keen election watcher. PKD Nambiar, columnist, political analyst, and of course, Tehseen Poonawala. He's a lawyer, political commentator, and an unabashed Congress supporter through thick and thin, really, Tehseen. But Sandeep, your first take on, let's first take a look at Gujarat. You know, the obvious, of course, is Prime Minister Modi, but what does it say about Kejriwal?
I would, in fact, Priya, I would start with Himachal. Because I think Himachal, despite being a small state, I would compare, at one level, you would say it's 1/3 of MCD, or it's smaller than the Ahmedabad municipality. Even in terms of, if you were to look at value, it's 1/5 of Gujarat's GDP and the rest of it. But I think Himachal has a silver lining for Congress. It has a silver lining for Congress because there are also lessons for BJP. BJP kind of, although it's always been a revolving door, etc. BJP, I think, lost it because of certain factors of having a lackluster performance, having a low-profile chief minister, and then all the internal party feud. Some of it, has links to Delhi, the equation in Delhi, and all of it together. Now, some of these factors also apply, let's say, to a state like Karnataka. And if Congress were to build on that, actually take this forward, this kind of a formula, and move systematically, they can give BJP some run for their money, certainly in Karnataka, but maybe later on in MP and Rajasthan as well. And Rajasthan has its own factionalities, as we all know. Chhattisgarh is one state that Congress is doing well because Bhupesh Baghel is totally in control. Now, the contra is Gujarat. Why did Congress abdicate the state? Last time they gave such a spirited fight with 77 seats, gave BJP some very tense moments. And Rahul Gandhi made all the claim that I'm not going to leave the state, I'm going to be around. And this time, notwithstanding whatever might say, we were trying a new experiment of a low-key campaign, below the line, going, home to home, etc. They simply abdicated the state. Rahul Gandhi, they had a whole list of VIP campaigners, but only Rahul Gandhi went once, Kharge went twice and ended up scoring 2 self-goals and came away. Kejriwal there, I think, again, if you see objectively, the 12 and whatever percentage vote is a good performance. If you were to look at the fact that as the first entry, last time onwards, he built something. But I think he's victim of his own hype. He didn't have to really raise the hype to that extent to say, first, it was very unethical, one would say, to say, I have an IB report, which even Dhume has commented upon, that it's not the right thing to say, I have an IB report that 2 days before that, he said, I am making a... No, you can hype it up, but not to that extent. What is realistic is what has happened, and everybody should take note of it on a national scale as well. I don't want to belabor, but this is wherever Congress is vacating the space, and instead of parties coming in. It is AAP which is creeping in. So right now you find that Mamata Banerjee has kind of pulled back. KCR is still waiting. The only person who is trying to extend his footprint is Kejriwal.
So let's take a look at Himachal and the Congress, Amitabh, first. Amitabh Tiwari, you have to unmute yourself.
So if we look at Himachal, there is clearly a silver lining for the Congress. I think the key word here is conviction. In Himachal, the leadership had the conviction that the party could win, whereas in Gujarat, the top leadership did not have the conviction, and it translates to the cadre and the state level leadership also. So there as well, the party, I would say, learned from its strategical successes in Rajasthan, MP, and Chhattisgarh. I keep on harping on the facts because these are the three only successes which Congress has got against massive BJP machinery. So here the party did not declare a CM face. So it did not actually go for a presidential style of contest, rather a collective sort of leadership. The top leadership backed the state leadership. They raised local issues, tried not to get into the trap set by the BJP, including not going on the offensive against the UCC recommendations of the BJP. So local issues, local leadership, not a presidential style contest, and conviction. See, लड़ेंगे तो ही जीतेंगे या हारेंगे, I would say. जब लड़ेंगे ही नहीं तो जीतेंगे नहीं. So there they fought, and BJP is the new Congress in a lot of ways, because there has been a congressization of the BJP over the years, with the high command culture setting in, and with the excessive dependence on Modi and the Modi factor working for BJP. What has happened is that arrogance has creeped in the party. They have denied tickets to a lot of MLAs, which has led to local rebellion, because of the fact that the party feels that the rebels will not be able to do anything, and we will be able to win in the name of Modi. Modi campaigned there also. He made an appeal to the voters that vote for me, but it did not work out because the rebels in the end damaged the BJP significantly. See, Modi, just one line, last line. Modi factor works well when the BJP is in opposition in state elections. When the BJP is in power, the first question or the most important question in the voters' mind is the track record of the government. Now we'll say that then how the BJP Modi factor works in Gujarat, because he's a local boy. He is the local of Gujarat in a sense.
But it won't work in Himachal, you're saying, or in where the BJP was also in power, right?
Yeah, it will not work where BJP is in power. It will, the main focus of the voter will be the track record of the government. BJP also, it did not win on Modi factor. UP, there was perceptible difference in the state government index, and people actually were lauding the law and order and the investment-friendly decisions of the Yogi government.
Fair enough. So you need a strong local leader, but I'm a little more interested in the Congress politics. After a long time, we have Congress notching a win and some kind of positive feedback. But also, who gets the credit for this win? How do you see Priyanka's role playing out in terms of the whole new party president and Rahul Gandhi taking off on his yatra?
So Priya, good morning to everybody. So a couple of things that I would like to bring in out here. Number one, the win in Himachal, no matter what my dear friend Sandeep says, small state, big state size, or small of the Ahmedabad Municipal Corporation, a win is a win. Now, why I think Himachal is extremely important for the further reasons, and Amitabh will bear me out for this. It's a win for the first time in 4 years directly against the BJP, number one. Number two, it's a win in the Hindi heartland state. Number three, it's a win in a state where 95% of the population is Hindu. Number four, it's a win in a state where 65% of that 95% population is upper caste. The Congress has won there. And it's won on the BJP on what issues? It's won on the BJP on issues of nationalism. Please understand that Srimati Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, Sachin Pilotji, and Bhupesh Baghel's team and the local leadership said Agniveer is dangerous for this country. You all are fighting for this country. It was an issue, apart from local issues, fought on national issue. The Congress defeated the BJP on nationalism in Hindi heartland state with upper caste voters. I don't think the Congress has grasped how big this is. So what did the Congress do right in Himachal that they did wrong in Gujarat? And they did absolutely everything terribly wrong. One, as Amitabh Bhai said, ladna tha. आप लड़ोगे तो जीतोगे हारोगे. मैं आपके शो पे आता हूं. कांग्रेस जीत रही है because we are old fashioned. If you give up, your cadre won't come out to vote. Your people won't come out. You demotivate and your organization gets rusted. Number two, so you got to fight to the end. Number two, I say this and I'm saying this with all the conviction in the world that I have. झोला वालास, जो लोग अपनी दुकानें चलाते हैं कांग्रेस के नाम पे, left loonies, stay away from them. All the people who became
that's half
left
of the
loonies.
people in Rahul's Yatra, Tehsim. Are you sure you want to use that word?
I am absolutely using it with responsibility. Allow me to speak. ये जो जिनकी दुकानें चल रही थी 2002 के दंगों पर, could they help you win in Gujarat? All these NGO walas, all these jhola walas. Now, one of these jhola walas who's in the yatra, who's now become a spokesperson for the yatra, I don't know how, who wished that Congress died. One day he's a cephalologist, one day he's a Kisan Neta, one day he's a spokesperson for the yatra. Priya, it hurts me that in the middle of the Himachal election, when Congress was putting all its might and resources, and Congress is weaker than BJP resources-wise, this man gives an interview to a mainstream newspaper on the Bharat Jodo Yatra and says Congress is losing Himachal. So you have to stay away from these people. Why did the people, none of them were involved in Himachal, and you won. See, people want an alternative to, it is not that people are, this is a democracy. We may be an imperfect democracy. No democracy is perfect. But people understand that they have to hold Mr. Modi also accountable. But you have to give an alternative. Last thing, in Himachal, the Congress had a plan. You may agree, disagree with that plan. The old pension scheme, the Agniveer scheme for the apple farmers, and in the local factors. You may agree, you may disagree with it. They had a plan to go to the electorate and say, this is what we will offer you. The BJP had a plan in Gujarat. If you don't have a plan, what are the voters going to choose you on? Just that you're abusing XYZ person, they will never choose you. Abusing somebody may get you eyeballs. It will not get you votes. Votes, you have to sell yourself.
Good points. Basically, this is something we've been saying all along. You need a narrative more than a face, or if you don't have a face, then a narrative would do. And Himachal is a case in point. And also, what Tehsim has hinted at, and more or less maybe said outright, but not, is something I want to bring to you, PKD Nambiar. Are we seeing a gap between the Priyanka Gandhi version of the Congress, a way of doing things, versus Rahul Gandhi and the people that surround him?
Well, Priya, well, we all know that Congress always is more of, it has never been typically an organization which is one families in multiple places and their group of their courtiers works, whether it is in state or in the center. That has been the culture of Congress. So I will not be surprised tomorrow if it becomes a Priyanka faction and a Rahul faction or a Mallikarjun Kharge faction or whatever it may be. That has been the culture of Congress. But Congress still lived on despite all these things for almost 75 years. It is still there. So I think good job done in terms of Himachal for the Congress, but it is too short. I mean, 0.9% is the vote share difference between both the parties. I would say that it is more than the Congress win. It is some kind of a mismanagement by the BJP. The reason being the rebels, almost I think 4 of them have won in the state. So that means if it is 4 seats comes here, it means almost neck to neck kind of a fight. Less than 1% of the total vote percentage means there is not that kind of an anti-incumbency. As Sandeep ji said, that it is a small state. Every constituency have more than 60 to 70,000 votes. Then it does matter even if 20 votes, 30 votes, less than 500 votes. There are 10 places the Congress has won in less than 500 or 1,000 votes. So that means, yes, as Tehsin also said, that a win is a win. We must congratulate. But this is not something to really celebrate for the Congress, because Congress do not have any plan for the upcoming elections as of now. Maybe if they completely change after the Bharat Jodo Yatra, good luck to them. Look at the other way around. In Gujarat, for an example, unprecedented, unparalleled kind of a victory for the BJP after 27 years again. But who was in charge of the Congress campaign in Gujarat? It was Ashok Gehlot. So Ashok Gehlot, either you say that Ashok Gehlot was consciously did not do. Why Congress always gives this in charge of making these people in charge, Baghel or Ashok, whether it is in Assam, in all the places, because they are the one who can get the resources. What Tehseen was talking about, Congress has got less resources. If you put up those people, they will be able to get some resources in every possible way. As a chief minister, they can use the power of that might. But once a political party cannot function, such a weak way, I don't know, since yesterday it was almost in every channel, it was talking about Congress is not a political party anymore, it is more of like an NGO. And it is truly becoming an NGO that it is talking about social issues and etc., but not have the, either you take a decision that you are a political party, then of course you will have to fight, you will have to celebrate every election as the celebration of democracy. But Congress did not do that. Congress do not even have a plan. For an example, Telangana is coming up.
I'm going to take a break
now,
and come back and we'll talk about the other plan of the Congress. But we're going to take a short break. Everybody has touched on more or less on who was in charge. Let's take a look at the factionalism between both the parties. JP Nadda was in charge of Himachal. A lot of factionalism happened because he denied PK Dhumal followers tickets. The party lost in Hamirpur, which is the Dhumal Anurag Thakur bastion. Is it because there were a lot of rebels? The candidates who were fielded were not of Anurag Thakur's choice. What about what happened in Gujarat? Since we have Ashok Gehlot in charge of Gujarat, Sachin Pilot in charge of Himachal. So what will that have an impact on what's going to happen in Rajasthan? I'm going to take all these questions to Sandeep Kush, but after a quick break. Hello and welcome back to the NewsX Sunday Guardian Roundtable. So Sandeep, whole lot of questions for you. Let's take a look at the factions, the personalities involved from the second rung. For instance, Himachal. Would you blame JP Nadda? If we are talking about Kharge, then JP Nadda should also get some of the blame or the credit or whatever you want to give him for the management of the Himachal polls. And of course, the Sachin versus Gehlot story. How does it play out?
See, obviously, JP Nadda will have to take responsibility for that. And that shows also, in a smaller state, if there is this kind of factionalism, you see the results of it in a much more amplified way than, let's say, if it were to happen in a large state like Madhya Pradesh or Uttar Pradesh. It's a small state, as we all discussed, small constituencies, and if there are 2 or 3 factions and there is a rebel, and in that kind of a situation, the impact is much larger. And there was a similar situation in Uttarakhand, which I think the central leadership's intervention at the right time saved it. But here, the central leadership themselves were involved. Not just JP Nadda, you had Anurag Thakur, who was quite a high-profile minister in the cabinet. All of them were involved. So I think the water got a little muddied. That kind of a situation where, whether right or wrong, there was this recording of Mr. Modi speaking directly to a candidate. I don't think he would have had to do in many other places. So there was certainly an issue. Now, this Priyanka versus Rahul Gandhi, I think this is being, at the moment, I think we are exaggerating that difference. Okay, I don't think they are working in such, in different, in parallel. They are doing things in a somewhat systemic way. Bharat Jodo Yatra, I would be a little bit of a contrarian to say how it is being executed at another point. But the original idea of positioning Rahul Gandhi as a social messiah, as opposed to this, and trying to get a lot of people inclusively into it, those who were perhaps disturbed by some of the polarization which was happening, was perhaps there was a sound basis to it. But every strategy ultimately depends on its execution. And as Tehseen was saying, who are the people, when you say inclusive, who are the people you get on board? And then what are the things you say? You don't go to Maharashtra and curse Savarkar or tell them that, all your industry is going to Gujarat just before a Gujarat election. So those are things, whether about the leader or about the people who are strategizing. And lastly, about that is, Congress, the difference between Himachal and this place, Himachal, they were not relying on social media. They were actually on the ground. They were taught. But Bharat Jodo Yatra is largely confined to social media. They can complain that mainstream media is ignoring it, but they themselves are confining it to just TV studios and this, and which ultimately doesn't impact.
They are on the ground, literally on Bharat Jodo, so you can't blame them on that one.
But, on the ground, who are you also? How much people you can get people, you can get some stars in, but is it really? And finally, Priya, I've said this long before. Like in any marketing activity, ultimately all depends on how your cadre mobilizes. You can have a fantastic
yeah.
You can
quickly, Tehsim, I'm interrupting you because we have to get everybody in. I just saw the time. Tehsim, yeah.
Yeah, no, just 2-3 things. I love these analysis. I simply love them. जब जीत जाते हैं मोदी जी, nobody is greater than him. He's the tallest leader in the universe. जब हार जाते हैं नड्डा जी, अनुराग ठाकुर जी. Had Priya hypothetically BJP won Himachal, hypothetically, we would be sitting and saying there is no taller leader in Modi ji in ever before 1947, after 2047. Now Modi ji in Himachal said, and I quote him, "Do not bother about the candidate. Vote for me. You're voting for me. This is a defeat for Modi ji." He lost to Priyanka ji. Point number one. Point number two, whatever I accept to the...
I'll come to you, PKD. Let Tehsim finish, I'll come to PKD. Tehsim, bolo.
I had to take that shot. Come on, you have to give it to me. It's my victory day. That shot I had to take. So this is Modi ji's defeat. I'll tell you what, I have one more advice for the Congress, and I'm not going to take too much of your time. What I felt, and I messaged the people who needed to be messaged was, and they didn't act on it, what I felt was, yesterday, the Honorable Prime Minister went to the BJP headquarters at 6 p.m. We all knew by 4 p.m. he's going there. The Congress should have claimed Himachal. So 8 o'clock, the Congress should have gone to AICC. Those are powerful visuals. Now you cannot keep cribbing about media. All you guys, including you, Priya, would have cut into the Congress celebration. वो अरविंद केजरीवाल जी MCD के लिए गए. At least आप हिमाचल के लिए जाते, आप खड़गे जी को हार पहनाते, you would have thrown flowers to the public. I agree they would not have cut into Priyanka's speech or Kharge ji's speech as much as the PM. He's the PM. But you would have got visuals prime time. See, you have to be there 24/7. Keep doing activity. Bharat Jodo is good. It's great because there's visual action happening. But you can't only have that. You have to have action happening everywhere, including electorally, and that's when it will translate into votes. You have to occupy mind space.
Absolutely right. In fact, I was speaking to Sohail said earlier, and his point was also Rahul Gandhi could have tweeted congratulations to Kharge for Himachal. That could have also gone a long way. PKD, you wanted to come in, then I'll go to Amitabh.
Yeah, well, I think it's very interesting. See, look at the way we are discussing about, we are jumping very fast that we wanted to say that Prime Minister Modi's popularity is coming down, or Himachal, of course, the Congress has one sweeping victory for Congress.
He has a point.
I think one thing I'll tell you, you are missing the buzz. The problem is that people do have a feeling that they don't have a tall leader like Prime Minister Modi, so they have a complaining that why Prime Minister Modi is being used. A good, aggressive organization or a political party will use its most popular leader as its brand ambassador all the time. And whether it is a small election or a big election. In 1982, please recall, and you would be knowing it better than me, I was a kid then. Just imagine that in MCD elections in Delhi, Indira Gandhi and Rajiv Gandhi was campaigning for MCD elections in Delhi. So it has. If you have a charismatic popular leader, people will use it. One thing is, there is no doubt the Modi wave continues. Modi wave does not mean that it's all about Modi. There is always a space in a democracy, as Tehsim said earlier, that there is a space for an opposition. But is there anyone who can really bell the cat? The cat is all out everywhere, 24/7. He is moving all across. And you put a complaint that BJP is doing well, BJP is going all out, BJP is using Hyderabad municipal election is equally important, even in a place where it may not be too relevant, even like a place like mine in Kerala or in Tamil Nadu, important. So I think a good political party, a strong political party, it is the responsibility of that political party to ensure that we celebrate the democracy. Our elections are our celebration of democracy. Right. And Congress has been really, there is no doubt it has been behaving like an NGO.
Let me get Amitabh you're repeating the celebration of democracy 3 times now.
One key point. One thing I wanted to tell Tehsim, ask your Congress friends, don't send Rahul Gandhi anywhere. You might get a chance to win. The reason is that Himachal, he did not even go once. From the last 1 year, he did not go. They have been able to, whether it is a thin margin, they have won. So ask him to quit he is nowhere a comparison to Narendra Modi. I think he should quit the politics.
BJP people are blaming Rahul Gandhi for the defeat. This is
one.
That is the single biggest cause of the defeat.
Why BJP lost Himachal? Because Rahul didn't go. Okay. There seem hearts of hearts you agree. I don't know what you're going to say, but I have a feeling you will going to agree hearts of hearts. Boliye.
No. If Rahul ji would have gone to Himachal, then the margin would have been even bigger.
That is not what I'm
so sorry. I'm so sorry, Tehseen. I'm sorry.
Okay, Amitabh, I think we need you to give some gravitas back to the conversation. Final word, where do you see this going in terms of the Congress? And it's a valid question. Is Rahul Gandhi better off the campaign field than on the campaign?
See, Congress has got a boost. Now, what is happening in Congress is that the different units are not synced together. So Rahul Gandhi is doing a Bharat Jodo Yatra, but he is perhaps giving statements in an election season which could backfire. Meeting people like Medha Patkar was not necessary. So the planners of Bharat Jodo Yatra cannot live in a solo world. They have to realize that there is an election season going on. And even if Medha Patkar wanted to join the Bharat Jodo Yatra, they should have said, okay, we'll do it after. So, and number two, Priyanka Gandhi has always been a backer of Sachin Pilot. So this team now has a win under its belt, and now they would try to force a regime change in Rajasthan on the back of a solid win in Himachal. And mind you, Ashok Gehlot was the senior observer of Gujarat, and the Congress has been routed there. However, it is going to be tricky because changing a chief minister, and that too a very intelligent chap like Ashok Gehlot, is not going to be easy. They have not been able to do so, and it could backfire also because it could also lead to a loss of government in this state. You could go down from 3 to 2. The third, I would say, is that the Congress now needs to realize that it is not the default party number 2, and when people get disillusioned with BJP, they will vote for Congress. Two lines on the impact of AAP. AAP won 5 seats. It is runner-up on 36 seats. Congress won 29 seats with less than 5% vote margin in 2017. It had lost 28 of these just because of AAP, because AAP just captured 5% and the Congress tally has reduced. If AAP was not there, Congress tally would have been 58 seats, similar to the 2012 tally. So now BJP is not the only competitor for AAP. See, in a triangular contest, when we consult parties and leaders, they are harping on the question, who is the competitor? Who is the competitor? AAP is also a competitor. The regional party is a competitor. BJP is a competitor. Half of the votes of Congress has been taken over by regional parties, not BJP.
Yeah, I agree. That's why they can't all come together on one platform against the BJP. We're going to have another chat on Kejriwal and who Congress really needs to worry about. And that is one reason why the opposition parties can't come on one platform, because they're fighting each other at the regional level, whether it is with Akhilesh Yadav or with Mayawati or the Kejriwal and so on and so forth. But thank you all for this conversation. And at least Congress is back in play for at least we can argue whether Himachal is 1/4 or 1/3, but at least they've won an election after a long time. But as Tehseen pointed out, they just don't know how to market that win at all. On that note, thanks a lot. Thank you.
Thank you.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.